Our family always follows the law. I believe you've been misinformed, Arthur insisted, his tone serious. Lord Grant, I've given you a polite warning. If you don't listen, there will be consequences. Adam's smile disappeared. My sister here isn't as patient as I am. If you provoke her, things could get messy. Think it through. If you doubt our sincerity, feel free to search to prove it yourself, Arthur suggested. He remained composed and convincing. Arthur, I've made my point. If you continue to be uncooperative, don't blame us for being rude. Adam's friendly demeanor dropped, and his face darkened. With that threat, Arthur felt cornered, and his actions became increasingly unreasonable. Don't try to reason with him. He won't change his mind. Scarlet, growing impatient, ordered, men, start dismantling this place. Yes. Following her command, the elite members of the Dark Panther Cavalry swiftly sprang into action. How dare you? Let's see who's brave enough to make the first move. Arthur shouted, and his guards rushed forward in a tense standoff with the Dark Panther Cavalry. As a fight was about to break out, loud shouts came from the entrance. Make way for the Minister of War, Sir Hyde. Clear the path for the commander of the Imperial City Guard, General Barker. Step aside for Marquis of Riaz's eldest son, Mr. Schmid. The three successive shouts were deafening, rattling the scene and instilling fear in everyone. As more high-ranking officials and nobles continued to arrive, the scene became a mess. Notable figures like the Minister of War, the leader of the Imperial City Guards, the Marquis of Riaz's eldest son, and other influential figures from Oakvale arrived. Just looking at this group of VIPs, it was clear they could easily take over Millsburg. Everyone was stunned, with their jaws dropped in disbelief as these prominent figures appeared one after another. It was something they never imagined. Sir Hyde, General Barker, Mr. Schmid, you've finally arrived. Arthur's face lit up as he greeted his esteemed guests warmly. They were Minister of War, Landon Hyde, Chief of the Imperial City Guards, Rhett Barker, and the Marquis of Riaz's eldest son, Neil Schmid. They held considerable influence in Oakvale, and in terms of status and power, they were on the same level as the Spanners twins. Especially Landon, the leader of the group, held the highest position within Dragonmarsh. Even the royal family had to show respect to him. With these influential figures on the Grant family's side, they were confident in handling any situation. Lord Grant, it's been a while. How have you been? Landon greeted me with a smile. I'm doing well. These old bones still have some life left in them, Arthur replied with a grin. Then, he turned to Tyler and said, Ty, what are you waiting for? Come and say hello to Mr. Schmid. Tyler approached and respectfully greeted Landon. This surprised everyone. No one had expected that Tyler's mentor was the Minister of War. It explained how he advanced so fast in his career. He had a powerful backing. What? Sir Hyde is Ty's mentor? Kate was initially shocked but quickly became excited. This is incredible. With such a powerful figure backing us, who would dare pick a fight with us? The Minister of War was a high-ranking government official with immense power and influence, standing above others. With a simple order, he could decide the fate of Balerno. Even the great Spanners twins wouldn't dare to challenge Landon. And it wasn't just Landon supporting the Grant family. Rhett, Neil, and many other respected officials were also on their side. Even the royal family would have to yield temporarily to these influential people. No wonder the Grant family is known as a powerful family. What an extensive network of connections they have. Now, we finally have hope. Trent and the others were overjoyed, feeling like they had found a savior. The Harmons thought the Grant family had lost the battle when the Spanners twins appeared. They had even prepared to be treated as the scapegoats. But Landon and his group appeared like a ray of light, giving them hope. So what if Lord Zenos was here? So what if General Murray was here? Even with the Spanners twins added to the mix, they weren't a threat to the Grants in front of the high-ranking officials led by the Minister of War. Tyler, it's your engagement day today, but I don't have much to give you. I've carried this emerald with me for many years, and now, I'm passing it to you. I hope you continue to strive for excellence in the future. Landon smiled as he took out an antique emerald and passed it to Tyler. Thank you, Sir Hyde. Tyler received it respectfully with both hands. Lord Grant, is something going on? The atmosphere seems tense. Landon was quick to notice that something was amiss. Sir Hyde, we've encountered some trouble today. Thankfully, you arrived right on time. If it had been any later, I think even my mansion would have been destroyed, Arthur said. Oh, who is so bold as to cause trouble at the Grant family residence? Landon raised an eyebrow. They are closer than you think. Arthur glanced ahead. Landon followed his gaze and scanned everyone. The Viceroy of Southern Province, the Grand General of Dragonmarsh, and the Spanners twins. This is quite the gathering. Sir Hyde, these people are behaving rudely. I hope you will serve us justice, Tyler requested respectfully. Don't worry. With me here, no one will dare cause a scene. Landon puffed his chest. Gazing intently at Dustin and his group, he declared, Dear guests, you are welcome to offer your congratulations, but I won't allow you to cause trouble today. Sir Hyde, we're not here to cause trouble. But the Grants have offended someone they shouldn't have. Adam stated calmly, considering our service in the same government, I'm advising you to stay out of this. I wouldn't want you ending up in trouble yourself. Oh, are you threatening me? Landon sneered. Adam Spanner, I might have held back if your father were here, but you two are nothing to me. Even though the Spanner family held considerable power, he wasn't one to be easily pushed around. His extensive network of connections had helped him rise to his current position. He had no reason to hold back against the two youngsters. Landon Hyde, I have no patience to argue with you. If you dare back the Grants, don't blame me for what will happen. Scarlet pointed her sword forward with a sharp gaze. This is outrageous. Right then, the commander of the Imperial City Guards, Rhett Barker, stepped forward. He blasted, Scarlet Spanner, is this how you treat your elders? Regardless of the situation, Sir Hyde is your senior. Your blatant disrespect is disgraceful. Barker, who the hell are you to boss me around? Scarlet disregarded him. Rhett said sternly, Scarlet Spanner, don't be too arrogant. Don't think I fear you just because you are the goddess of war. Rhett was only a second-ranking lieutenant general. However, as the commander of the Imperial City Guards, he was deeply trusted by the royal family and held high authority. He was certainly worthy enough to challenge Dragonmarsh's goddess of war. Let's have a duel according to martial rules if you don't fear me. Scarlet raised her sword slowly. You dash. Rhett was about to step forward when Landon raised a hand to stop him. Scarlet Spanner, this isn't the front lines. It's not a place where you can act as you please. If you insist on doing things your way, I'll report you to the royal family. And as for me, at that moment, Marquis of Riaz's eldest son, Neil Schmid, stepped forward. He said impassively, You are terrorizing officials and causing chaos at the Grant family residence. I will not tolerate such lawlessness. That's right, we will not allow anyone to act like a barbarian here. At that point, a group of high-ranking officials from Oakvale spoke out in support. For a moment, the Grant family seemed to have the upper hand. Comparing numbers, now are we? Let's see how many brains you have here. Scarlet didn't bother wasting her breath at the crowd's uproar and raised her sword. She was obviously irritated. But before she could attack, Dustin stopped her. Kid, don't act impulsively. With Scarlet's temper, she wasn't afraid to kill. But if she did kill, the consequences would be severe. The people they were up against were of different status. They were Oakvale's high-ranking officials. If Scarlet hurt them, she would be responsible for it. She might even be dismissed. The Spanners were a prominent family and had many enemies. Once they had a weakness, their enemies would use it against them. The prime example was the time he was falsely accused of starting a rebellion. He didn't want Scarlet to get into trouble because of him.